the presence of God. When you come to church, you have one agenda and one agenda only, and that's to meet God, and God meets you where you at. So things can be different. I serve a different changing God. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, there's a difference in God. So we can draw strength from one another, because I don't know what you encountered this week. You don't know what I encountered this week, and I don't know what's encountering the next week. But what I do know is that when I come together with my brothers and sisters in Christ, the devil is mad, and I don't care, because when we come together in unity. When there was 2 or 3 that gathered together in his name, God is in the midst, and I promise you, God is here right now. I come to bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that's within me. I will. Because I had a worship experience going on. But right now, there's a praise that's on the inside of me, and I promise you, my feet getting ready to testify about where God has brought me from. You don't know where I've been. You can't tell my story, but these feet right here say, feet testify about how good God has been to you. 1, 2, 3, blessings. I make no apologies about blessing God. I make no apologies about blessing Him. Let's give God a hand praise in this God is worthy. Amen. You may be seated. I'm supposed to be doing the announcements, but I came to make an announcement on the devil that he is defeated. God is exalted. And I have the victory. That's my announcement today. The devil is defeated. God is exalted. And I have the victory. That's my announcement today. The devil is defeated. God is exalted. And I have the victory. That's my announcement. The devil is defeated. God is exalted.
It's to prophesy to people that you know and that you know situation about. But I hear the Spirit of God. I'm so glad you're here. Will you lift up your hands? The Spirit of grace says to you that you thought that you lost your ability to teach because of the situations that sprung up around you. But I hear God saying there is a call that you must answer. I hear the Spirit of God saying there is a mantle of the prolificator, the teacher that is on your life. And God has allowed the tragedies of the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag and smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire and had taken the women captives. And that were therein, and they slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burnt with fire. Their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captive. And David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had the power to weep no more. And David's two wives were taken captive, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal, and the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him. And because of the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his son and his daughter. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. And David said unto Abiathar the priest, Amalekite's son, I pray thee, bring me hither, the ephod. And Abiathar brought the ephod to David, and David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue after this troop? And shall I overtake them? And the Lord answered and said, pursue, for thou shalt surely overtake, and without fail recover all. Father, we thank you. We bless you. Help us to preach this, Father, not in flesh, but allow your spirit to flow through, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. On the way down to your seat, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, after Ziklag. We're going to start and continue in a place of sonship, but start a series, but continue in sonship in August, back to school. I believe God is getting us back to the basics, and I believe that sonship is getting us to the basics and the fundamentals of what God is really propelling for the church this day and age. Never in my life have I ever seen the travesties that have taken place in the likes of shootings and massacres. Never in my life have I seen such of the word of God be so accurate and precise that as soon as God speaks, it is moments, minutes, sometimes seconds when things begin to happen. Never in my life have I seen God begin to move in such a profound way that whenever we ask God to do some things, he is showing us how to get to the place of process. Never in my life have I seen the process of God executed in such a way that literally God is taking people who are closest to us and shifting them away from us. Never in my life have I seen where decision making has been at an all-time high to where now we have to go into battles by ourselves, seemingly by ourselves, because it seemed that those who were with us are no longer with us. Never in my life have I seen the likes of people in this day and time act in such an ungodly way that it seems as though that they are exposing their own self. We always speak of exposure, but now it seems at the time that people are exposing their own self. I want to prophesy to you even in this moment. What God is trying to tell you, God told me to tell you this morning, please ma'am, please sir, listen to your first instinct. Hear me, that's good. Because some of us are questioning if it was God. Some of us are questioning if the Lord really spoke it. But God says, I'm not speaking with unclear tongues in this season. I'm speaking with clarity. And what I said at the beginning, what I said first to you is what I meant. Take hold to your very instinct. The very first thing that God said to you, you have to remember exactly what he said. I'm reminded in 1994, there was a movie that has been remade now in this season entitled The Lion King. And in one of those pictures, one of those scenes, after Mufasa has died, and most of you know the story, Mufasa speaks to Simba and he says, you have to remember who you are. You cannot forget. You have a position, you have a right, and you have to remember who you are. Simba speaks back to his father and he said, I don't know who I am. I don't remember who I am. I've made you ashamed. But Mufasa begins to speak back to Simba and tells him, no, you are my son and you are the king and you have a right to everything that is mine. May I say to you this morning that you have gotten into a place to where you have forgotten who you are. And you have forgotten what you are entitled to. And you have forgotten who your daddy is. You have forgotten who your father is. And in this time of sonship, we tend to forget what the heirs are entitled to. We tend to forget what the joint heirs are entitled to. And so now we walk around aimlessly looking for something that we don't feel as though that we can put our hands to that's tangible. But man and woman of God, make me allude to you this morning that the thing that you expect, they are tangible. And God is about to open the door for things that you have not ever seen before in your life. I hear Paul prophesying and said, for eye have not seen, ear have not heard, neither has it entered the heart of man the things that God has prepared for you except by his Spirit. God is getting ready to open the door for you. And this time all you've got to do is walk through the door. It is not your obligation. It is not your assignment to open the door. Your assignment is to walk through the door. Stop trying to take on the assignment of God when God already has an assignment and all he needs you to do is walk through it. God needs you to walk through the door that he closed and don't turn your back to look and see if it's still there. God said every closed door that I close for you in this season, you will never gain sight of it again because I'm going to utterly destroy it. God told me to tell you this morning the reason why we are in this place because we're in the process place. I wish I could preach it the way I wrote it, but I got to preach it the way that God said it. We are in a place called Ziklag, and Ziklag is a place not of negativity, but Ziklag is a place of process. Ziklag is a place of preparation. We are in the what we call the third season of what is about to be the fourth season that is going to be turned around. The third season is the season of preparation, and in Ziklag it is a moment where you have peace. In Ziklag it is a moment where you have the blessing. Here is where we messed up. We allowed ourselves to get so unaware of our surroundings in our peace moment that we allowed the enemy to come into doors that we left open because we got comfortable in a place of peace. There is a such thing as called comfortability, and there you still have to be aware because many of us, when we get comfortable, we become unaware of our surroundings, and that is how the enemy comes in and sneaks up on us other people who are closest to us. But please, ma'am, please, sir, hear what God is saying, that there is a place called Ziklag, and Ziklag is what makes you who you are. Ziklag is what blesses you. The Hebrew word for Ziklag literally means to press, but it's not a natural press, it's a mental press. And our issue is that we're trying to fight mental things with natural and carnal and physical weapons. But this is not a battle of God. This is not a battle of physicality. This is a mental battle. And what the enemy is trying to do, he's trying to shift you out of position so that you will fight unnecessary battles. What God said is, I can allow you to get victory in your mind. You will have victory over the enemy. When is the last time that you allowed yourself, glory to God, to fight a battle and it wasn't with physicality? When is the last time you allowed yourself to fight a battle and you did not try to retaliate with rigorous or vigorous words? The word of God is clear and it declares that grievous words, they stir a wrath, but a soft word will mellow the heart. My brothers, my sisters, I'm telling you what I see and what I know. I'm telling you the enemy is trying to fight us through relationships. The enemy is trying to fight us with closeness. The enemy is trying to fight us with familiarity. But don't fight this battle with physicality. It's all a mind shift. You feel as though that you have lost, but I hear the Spirit of God declaring, be still and know that I'm God. Hallelujah. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. David is there in Ziklag, and Ziklag was a place of the Philistines, former enemies, and now David, they offer him a place. But David already had, glory to God, a prophetic word for him going into Ziklag. For it's in Psalms 23 that David declares that he prepares a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You can't get any worse than Ziklag, that is owned by the Philistines, and you being the heir and being the future king, you're about to go where your enemies are, and you get to a comfortable place, and you trust your enemies just a little too much, and then they come in and invade your territory. They come in and occupy your land. They don't hurt you, but they hurt everybody around you. May I add to you this season, it's not that the enemy is trying to take you out. No, he's trying to get everybody around you. And when he can get everybody around you, then it literally will put you in a place of defeat. But as Lady Crump declared it earlier, and I want to declare it over your life, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, the word of God shall be established. The devil is defeated. God is exalted. And we have the victory. How do you know that I've got victory? Because Ziklag is only temporary, yeah. But the promise became more constant. I'm in a place now to where I'm in the last stages of Ziklag. I'm in the last stages of my preparation. I'm in the last stages of literally hearing what God is speaking to me. I'm pressing. I'm crushed. I'm being pushed. I'm pressed. I'm being crushed. I'm being pushed. I'm pressed. I'm being crushed. I'm being pushed. To ultimately, God is pushing me to my place of promise. But I cannot leave Ziklag without the permission of God. You're trying to leave process, and you're unprocessed. You're trying to leave process, and you literally have not been finished baking. You have not been finished cooking, and you're trying to go out with raw talent. God said it's not raw talent that is going to allow you to win the war. It's going to be the anointing of God that is going to shift the trajectory of your life. I have been on this plain path for so long that I have literally lost sight of the power. This is why the prophet comes up this morning and he declares, God, we need more of your power, because what we have started to operate in, we started to operate in our own affairs, our own power, our own energy. I don't need the energy of myself. I need the energy. I need the power. I need the authority of God. He is the one who can open doors that I can't even see. He is the one that can kill our enemies that are trying to backstab me. I'm telling you, in this season, you know how we made it in 4 years. It just ain't me and Lady Crump, but you know how we as a city, we made it in 4 years. We stood on foundation. We stood on things that could move. I didn't stand on the word of myself. I stood on the word of God. I didn't stand on the word of what people told me. I stood on the word of God and the promises of God. Again, amen. I'm telling you, I'm in my final stages of Ziklag. The first season is a season of where your plants was year number 1. And in that season, you literally grow off of zeal and expectation. You literally are anticipating off of expectation. You have an expectancy because you're so zealous. Anyone that starts a new job or any farmer, you expect to be at this job long term. And you expect to get all the benefits, and you're so excited because it's a new adventure. So everything around you seems right. But what happens when you get to the summer season? And it seems as though that everything should flourish. But you put too much trust into the heat. And now the heat kills off everything because your oxygen literally suffocates. And now you can't breathe, and instead of increase, you experience a season of germination. But when you don't understand germination, you look at it wrong. To have the season of germination means that something is going to die. But when it dies, there's a revegetation that occurs, and it brings forth duplicate life. You think that that you're about to go into the next season of the process. But then all of a sudden, God allows a tremendous sprout. And when the sprout comes, you get over anxious and you get over excited. And if you don't know how to handle the increase, then you will lose all the manifestation that has come because you don't know how to properly prepare what God has given you. You don't know how to properly maintain. You don't know how to properly maintenance what God has given you. And so because of that, flowers that seem to be blooming, they are now not getting the proper nourishment and they die. And you get a little aggravated because it keeps growing and then it dies. It keeps growing. It keeps dying. It keeps growing. It keeps dying. It keeps growing. Then it dies. It keeps growing. It keeps dying. That is not the will of God. God finally gets you to a place to where you understand how harvest works. And what seems to be what should have been a very productive season now comes a lesson taught. Year number 3, God spoke. God moved. We moved literally. We transitioned literally. God began to speak. Year number 3. Every week, God is going to allow people to add to the city of David. We got to this place, and it seemed as though that everything was on the up and up. But when you are literally put in the hands of the enemy, and you get comfortable and you get lax, you allow prosperity to fall off because you didn't secure it. In the same season of year 3, it begins to be a season of where things begin to go up. But as we go into season 4, immediately it feels as though you've been hit with the biggest punch in your life. Remember what God said in the old building: winter is coming. And the season of winter came, and it seemed as though that we never ever got through winter. Then all of a sudden the storm comes in the midst of the winter. The blizzards start to come. You can't handle it. There are things that God is literally pruning back. You don't understand the pruning because all you see is hurt. You literally don't understand the pruning because you thought that you had made it. You thought that you had arrived. God was speaking all along, but guess what? We heard him, but we weren't listening. He was telling you, I got you. I'm making you. I'm pushing you. But I didn't hear you. I didn't listen to you. I'm speaking, but you didn't listen. So we didn't understand the voice. We didn't understand where we was going. And so now we have now misdiagnosed the situation. And we thought now this was a season of death and a season of tragedy. But no. The Spirit of God said this is a season of zigzag. And in the spirit and the season of zigzag, I'm preparing you for everything that you lost. But you have to stand before me. David asked the Lord, shall I pursue? Now here is where the crossroads could become difficult. When you ask God, are you really ready for the response that God is going to give to you? Because if David would have said, shall I pursue? And God said no, what would David's response have been? If God told you in this season that I'm about to make you who you are, you've got a response. I don't care. People say designation, and they call people, whenever there's an elevation in the Episcopal realm or the apostolic realm, and they call them bishop designate.